Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from Harlem in New York City. Yeah. You know what this is? This is a Ramble. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, sir. There she is. There she be. That's Lori Thompson.
Hello. How are you?
Fine. You know, something stupid happened today. Marjorie did something stupid. Well, she orders food, okay?
Your lovely wife, Marjorie.
She doesn't cook anymore. She just orders food and maybe warms it up if need be, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the norm. Uber Eats, DoorDash, the whole business.
So she calls me before we do this thing and says, I ordered food and it's going to be coming. I said, I'm doing Lori at 1 o'clock. She says, well, bring the monitor in with you and then go answer it. And I said, I'd be in the middle of an interview.
Yeah, well, now, my monitor, you have like a baby monitor?
But wait a minute. Now, here, I've had solutions to everything, you know.
You are a good
We
solver.
have closets here that had no lights in them. So what did I do? I went out and I bought those, you know, those kind of lights that you maybe put in your yard or whatever. And they light up as people walk down the walkway to your house.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of those and I put them in the closets, and then it lights up the closet every time you open the door.
Well, you are so handy.
Okay, so now we have a bell that rings down the hall in the other room. When the
doorbell rings?
Yeah. And we have to run off to do it. Well, sometimes we're in the bedroom and you can't hear it.
That's right, frolicking or what.
And today we can't hear it at all because we have a door closed there to keep the air conditioning into this side of the building.
Okay.
So look at how red. You see how red my eye is? See, look at that.
Now that you mention it, I do. Yeah. I've noticed that when I lay on one side or sleep on one side or another, it's like all the fluid rushes to the side that was on the bottom.
Anyway.
But it looks fine. It just looks, now that you mention it, a little red.
Yeah, a little on the red side. Let me see if I can turn the light down on that side.
It's not distracting.
And then I could, let me see here. No, that would be over here. Where
well, it's not pink eye. That's the good thing.
It's that eye. Okay. No, it's not pink eye. It's just red eye. I've been rubbing it like crazy.
That's it. When something hurts and then, you rub it. Makes it
let
worse.
me finish my story anyway.
Yes.
So
wow.
we sometimes can't hear the buzzer, right? So when we know a delivery is coming, I came up with a solution.
Yes.
A baby monitor.
And if you asked me to name 2,000 things that Alex Bennett had, especially gizmos and devices, that would not be one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, hold on a second. I have to rub my eye. Oh, God. Look at that. Look at how red it is.
It is red, yeah, but I mean, what would you do for that? Would you go to a doctor or an optometrist or?
I have a doctor for it, but, I don't know. It's just because I'm rubbing it a lot today.
That's it.
Yeah.
It demands attention.
This is horrible. I'm supposed to look good for television, right?
That's right, man. You put on your stunning face.
And I put on some makeup there, figuring it would take out the redness, but apparently it hasn't.
For that you need shave tape from Tarte. It's on a little stick, and you just cover it over, and bingo, you're almost perfect.
Well, I could go get the makeup and try it here, but
a little tutorial, right?
No, I've got a makeup, with the pads that I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Those things.
Because you used to do a lot of TV.
Yeah, but I put that on. I have a rosacea here, so you can't see it here because I covered it with makeup.
you've attended to it.
But then I tried to put makeup on this eye, and apparently it doesn't want to work.
No, because I think the applying of the makeup actually makes it worse.
Probably made it worse. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, the wear and tear.
Could be. Anyway, so if the baby monitor goes off, I'll put this on pause, this recording, and then I will run into the other room and let them in, which should take about 5 minutes. So you just sit there and wait.
See, that's fine.
Let
and
your
you
voice
thought
rest.
this out.
Yeah.
Which is a key element of problem solving.
But tell me that isn't a problem solver.
That is for a lot of things.
And you can hear. That's the other room.
Have you noticed how everything has a timer these days? Microwave. That one's rude and obnoxious.
Oh, I have a mic, and not a microwave, but I have an oven that sends me email.
That sends you email?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is one smart oven.
Yeah, and it says things like, "I need to be cleaned."
Okay. Demanding
Thank
all
you for that email.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else do I have? I have the microwave doesn't have it.
I'm with you fine.
There's one other item that I have. There's something else that is. Oh, the air conditioner.
It makes noise. It calls you.
It never sends me email though.
Oh well, you're just not important enough. Because that air conditioner has a very stacked social card.
But our oven does. Oh, we have a dishwasher.
And it talks. Oh yeah.
It'll send me email too.
It really? Did you buy them together?
No, I bought them separately, but they're both LGs, and LGs have Wi-Fi in them.
Wow, yeah, because we have an LG. We just bought an LG TV, so we're happy with it.
Yeah, but you can probably turn that thing on and off by voice.
I can try it. Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, you should know that. I that's why I like LG products for only that reason that they have Wi-Fi.
They can carry a conversation, which is nice. That's what I want in a blow dryer.
God, my eye looks ugly.
It doesn't look ugly, Ben. It just looks irritating, like most of life, which is irritating.
Yeah, here, I'll do this for the rest of the year. I get a patch.
Yeah, that would make you look debonair.
And then
really cool.
I'll try and keep using it until Halloween so I can go as a pirate.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Which I always went as because it was the only thing my mother had the imagination to make me up as.
Yeah, either that or a robot that just put a cardboard box.
Well, she could take all her own clothing and make me into a pirate. She had earrings for the pirate.
Oh, that was kind of fun.
She had a bandana for the pirate.
Right.
She had a sash around my waist for the pirate. I mean, these are all her clothes.
Well, it had some genuine pirate accoutrements.
Yeah, but she didn't have to do anything. So
the real lazy costume was hobo.
Yeah.
They just
maybe if I turn off my lights, my eye won't look as bad. Oh, geez, it even looks worse. Jeez.
No, it just looks different. It's different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
That's what catches your attention.
You're usually the one that's sick here. I'm like catching it from you.
Yeah, but I mean, would you go to a GP for that? Or would you go to an optometrist?
I have an eye guy who did my lids.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Go to him.
And he has suggested, but he said that it was this eye that needed work on. That this eye he didn't mention, but I could go to him and say, hey, look at me. I'm in big problems here,
Yeah, and he'll fix it. What does
he'll
work?
come up with like a $5,000 operation that will fix it.
Right. Yeah. That always they got to put kids through college back.
And they got to buy that yacht.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I was just paying attention to New York, which I don't follow New York politics.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of yachts and super yachts. Oh, have you picked out your outfit? Have you determined what you're going to wear for the Bezos Sanchez Noops in Venice?
Well, I was invited, but I don't have the time to go. So
I know. You are an in-demand guy.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about something from Celine. She likes Celine, not Dion, the designer.
Yeah.
But that would be a fun
I
wedding.
would like to see one guy like Bezos, when he leaves his wife, go out and find an ugly woman. I would like to see that. Or one that doesn't have her breasts done. Or one that doesn't look like she's a, shall we say, what's a trophy wife?
Trophy wife, yeah. Lauren Sanchez doesn't really. She's not his age, but she's not 25. She's not 22. She was an anchor woman, and I guess he took a shine to her, and it was somewhere on the coast of California.
Yeah, but why can't you just say, hey, this is a very nice woman I met at, I don't know, some little party somewhere. And she's just a nice person, and I like her, and let's start going out together. No, they always get themselves these trophy wives.
Yeah, and then she had a little bit of cred before they hooked up. So she at least had a career. She, like I say, an anchor woman. I don't know what her aspirations were, if she wanted to do network or what. But so she, I think that's how she came into his radar. You just turned on the TV.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she was interviewing him or something like that.
Yeah, could be. But probably she at least seems to have a head on her shoulders and has shit. She doesn't have a lot of those attributes of a trophy wife.
What do you mean? She looks like a trophy wife.
Well, but
she's got
not
the
as
fake
ditzy.
tits. She got the fake tits. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by
I
the
was
way.
going to say, you watch your stepping on my prom dress, Bennett. It's that. Oh, have you ever seen the show Botched?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
I can only watch about a half hour of that thing. If you want something more disgusting, try Dr. Pimple Popper.
Ooh, there is such a thing?
Yes, there's Dr. Pimple Popper. And the problem is, here's the problem. And this is why they're changing everything over there. Discovery bought HBO.
Right.
So they took HBO Max and they turned it into just Max. And they found it's not working. So they're going back to HBO Max and they're going to drop all the Discovery shows. Here's the reason why. Who wants to watch The Gilded Age and then have a suggestion that you watch Dr. Pimple Popper?
Yeah, it's just, sorry.
It just doesn't work.
Too big a stretch. But, Botched I turned on the other day, and I'd seen them with noses and things like that, I guess. But I saw some scary breast jobs. Like with no nipples, it just looks like two huge, like, cantaloupes.
Well, that whole field isn't, there's not a lot of, what can we call it, oversight.
I think not.
On that business. Anybody can become a installer of breast implants. It doesn't
not hard. You don't have to have a medical degree?
You have to be a doctor of some sort, but you could be, a skin doctor.
Or a doctor of letters,
No, not one of those. But
romantic literature.
But you could, you could just be a doctor who does minor stuff and whatever. But as long as you go to a little class or something, that's enough for you to install breasts in people.
Wow.
Well, they're doing this and they're botching them like crazy.
Oh yeah, it's frightening to see, man. Because I'm relatively happy with both of mine. Much happier with the first one. But, it's not like my breast didn't end up in my back or anything.
Yeah.
It was, I thought.
But the ones you just got, how long ago was that?
Oh.
Here we're talking about her tits. Is that okay, folks, for you? Is that all right? All right, good.
It was 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
The other one was in '94, so it had some legs.
It had legs. I don't know if you would say it had some legs, but it had some nipples.
They sure did. Yeah. It was perfect. But they don't. Breast jobs aren't forever. They age.
Well, where'd you get your first one? The Bay Area in San Francisco, right?
Stanford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stanford. Okay.
Well,
all right.
Stanford affiliated.
All right. They're well known for their tit jobs. Okay. It's Stanford.
I think this is the sideline. Yeah. But he taught at Stanford.
The second one you got where?
Mississippi.
What did you expect?
That's what I thought. But he seemed so on top of the game.
Yeah, but his only experience was that he felt a lot of them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I think something about provincial attitudes may have something to do with the way they do breast jobs. Like the under the muscle.
Oops, see?
Oh, there's your guy.
Okay,
Baby monitor.
I'm going to put this on pause. We'll be right back.
Oh.
All right, so we got the food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
see? Took a little pause there.
Did you a stack of ribeyes or what?
No, I don't know. You know, Oh, now my phone is ringing, or her phone is ringing.
You were just a heck of a popular couple.
I don't have a phone in here. Oh,
No.
It's her phone ringing.
Oh, she's calling you to remind you to get the door when it rings.
But anyway, isn't that a great idea?
That is a
I
very
suggested
good idea.
for everybody that if you have a house where, like, you know, you're up in the bedroom, but you're having a delivery, but you can't hear the doorbell or whatever, just put one of these baby monitors near the front door. We have ours on top of a refrigerator in the kitchen, right near where the buzzer is. So, you know, that way we can tell when there's a delivery.
That's that Bennett ingenuity at work.
I'm Dr. Pimple Popper. Anyway.
You're Dr. Problem Popper.
Anyway, so you like that show Botched.
Well, I like it, and then I have to turn away because it's just like, the hideous things that can happen. It's alarming, even though it's happening far away to someone else.
I wonder how many times they fix something, but it doesn't look good, so they don't put it on the air.
Yeah, or it looks too good.
You know, I mean, it's a wonderful. I always liked the show Botched, but if I get to certain things, I can't watch it. Like botched breast jobs are hard to watch.
And see, because it was hard for me to watch. I mean, nose jobs don't bother me, but yeah, it was hard to watch that.
Well, why? Let me ask you a question. What was so lacking in your self-esteem that you felt you had to have a breast job?
Well, then I was happy with everything else in my person.
Yeah.
I really was. But I mean, I was so flat. And I always, since I was 21, have wanted a pair of 34Cs. And so I just thought,
I notice you like to feel them when you're talking
about
them.
Oh, yeah, they encourage you to feel them.
Yeah, right.
But, to enjoy your investment.
Yeah.
But I just always, I think it was because I was been so self-conscious with it. And when I became a sexual creature, then I really became self-conscious about it. Because we're just plastered with these images of perfection. And I thought, if that's all that's separating me from being a blah, 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 blah.
I'm not one of them. But there are guys who like women who have no chests at all, you know?
Yeah, I guess, but I thought, I can get that. It can level this thing in my head. I didn't think I was a lesser person. I didn't feel dumber or anything. I just really wanted that physique. I really wanted that.
But what did you think that it would give you?
I just thought, I'll
more
just feel
self-esteem,
like on a level plane.
More self-esteem, maybe?
No, I just feel like I'm on a level playing field. I think because I felt like there were women who got talked of as just these creatures of marble, who were no different than I was, and maybe I was even smarter than, or something or that. Mm-hmm. But because they had these tits, some guys, that's all they look at in a woman, And if those tits are present, then then I thought they can move on to my brain and, my person.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just wondered why you did it. What was the reason? I guess, there are guys who go bald at 21.
Yeah.
And they then become obsessed with that. They buy hair pieces, they get hair plugs and all of that, because that becomes the center of their self-esteem. Yeah. And no,
it didn't affect my self-esteem. I thought, you know what? I've got the money. The rule I made with myself was, though, when I can afford a house, then I'll get the boob job, because that would show my priorities aren't exactly skewed. And so I bought the house, and like a few months later, I got the Hooters. And
Yeah.
so I just, I didn't want to be disproportionate my values about it.
Yeah.
But I always wanted a good pair.
Well, I had a woman I knew, you knew her, Kathleen, who
Yeah.
had boob jobs, but the reason she had them was she got breast cancer.
Right.
And so they had to do her boob. It was only one, I think. And they said, well, we have to, we'll replace the one with a fake one, right?
Yeah.
What size would you like? And she said, fill her up. And she also got it done on the other side as well to even
Yeah, it would
it
have
out.
been weird otherwise. Yeah.
Right. And I got to tell you, those things were gigantic. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw them, of course, in a bedroom, and I like them. They don't feel the same. They don't have the same movement that a real breast
Now the
would have.
first pair I had felt just like breasts.
Yeah.
These are a little different. You could, but I only sleep with one person now.
Yeah. Well, Marjorie has never had a breast job.
No,
She's never had any children either.
Yeah.
And her breasts, at her age, when I first met her, I thought they were implants.
Because they're so perky.
They were that firm. Yeah.
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 Well, that's
And
great.
she's still, to this day, they're that firm.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that's the only thing that's firm, by the way. But
so you're feeling around. Oh, firm, cold, hot.
Yeah, cold, hot. Yeah.
But they're. I just like the way they look cosmetically. That's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have any psychological reason. Didn't have any deep-seated anything.
Yeah.
Just I like the way they look.
But you just got them. I guess you were married. Were you married when you got them the last time?
Yeah, married.
Yeah.
I was. No, I wasn't married. We were living together.
You were living together.
In sin.
But you didn't feel you had to do it to keep your guy.
No. Gosh, no.
What was the reason? They started drooping or doing something, or
they started pelleting. I don't know if that's the official term for it, but they it's like having Dippin' Dots, a boob full of Dippin' Dots. You can
really?
feel the little pellets.
Do they make Dippin' Dots anymore?
I don't know, but I feel obligated to mention every time Dippin' Dots arise, they were invented by a guy who went to Southern Illinois University.
Really? Do they have them anymore?
I've seen.
Used to go to the movie theaters. Used to carry them.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can buy them at the grocery store. I don't know, but they were quite the rage for a while.
No, I enjoyed them. I thought they were terrific.
Yeah, I thought they were I didn't like them. I thought they were gimmicky, and they diluted the flavor of the ice cream.
Oh, really? You thought that? Oh,
yeah.
I kind of liked it, but anyway.
I'm sure that if you contacted the manufacturer, they would probably send a box to your house. And then you could set the baby monitor for that.
So let's run over a little bit here, because, you normally used to do 25 minutes with you. Now I only do one at a time, so I hold you over for an extra 5 or so.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah. So how long have you been married now?
Been married 3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy?
Yes. We
you
are.
Should
well,
be.
I mean,
he's a nice guy. He's a great guy.
He is. I mean, he has moods like we're different. Our way of dealing with what's bothering us is very different. So that I had to get used to.
Well, I've often said that the secret to a perfect marriage is forgiveness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got to learn how to forgive somebody, because I don't care who you marry, nobody's perfect. Maybe me, but not other people.
Yeah, you just have to let things slide. Don't dwell on something, and remind yourself constantly, is this the hill I want to die on? And we've had some really big fights that we thought might break us up, but it didn't.
Yeah, and when you look back on those fights, was it anything really serious?
I don't think so. To me, it was just one person trying to control the other, which I felt he was attempting to control me.
Yeah.
And that is that.
Well, anytime he has a problem that way, tell him to call me. I'll tell him you can't be controlled.
Okay.
Okay,
I like that.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, call my reference.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's OCD, and control is a huge part.
Oh yes, Marjorie has OCD to a lesser extent, but enough that it sometimes can get annoying.
Yeah. Now, does she have special things that she's OCD about? Like I'm not lighting.
Oh, there are things she does every day.
Really?
Every day at approximately 12:30, we have to make the bed.
Well, that's okay because that's halftime.
No, but it's always the same time.
Oh, really?
It's on a schedule.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's OCD, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that'd be OCD because I make the bed every day. I'm compulsive about it, but I just make it when I get up. Because that makes me feel like I'm more prepared to take on the day.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, but Marjorie, I said to Marjorie, could you go one day with us not making the bed? Because I love being under the covers when I'm on the bed. I don't like
Yeah.
being over the covers.
yeah, I like being under the covers too. I read a lot.
Excuse me, folks, but I've got.
You're gonna look like you've been in a fight.
No.
Tell Marjorie you were defending her honor
I
somewhere.
was defending her honor, and you slugged me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But marriage is not easy.
it's not.
And,
You
and
have
I
to.
think the reason why people have at least one marriage under their belt, okay, before they get to their other marriage, is because early on, if you get married early, you don't have the same forgiveness. You don't have the same tolerance
I think that's
that you
it.
have. Like at my age, she could do anything to piss me off, and okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
See,
don't
that's
care.
it. It's confidence. It's been
You
you
know,
having
I'm
yourself.
not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So why don't we try and settle this now?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
when you're younger, you don't put up with that crap. You just, oh, I've got to get a divorce.
Yeah, because you imagine yourself, you project.
Yeah.
And instead of with energy that you could spend saying,
Yeah.
okay, how do we remedy this?
Yeah.
And the thing is, see, I grew up in the Assembly of God Church did not do divorce.
Mhm.
They did, yeah. And so my parents were married for 55 years, and I remember them having some humdingers, as folks used to say, where I thought they might get a divorce.
Oh,
But I don't
same
think
thing
they-
with my parents.
Yeah.
But I knew they loved each other, so it was never going to happen.
Yeah, same here. And plus they were so interwoven, not just by the children, but interwoven in each other's sense of self.
And I think my father even cheated on my mother, and
Really?
she got past it. Yeah, with his cousin.
Well, oh,
Well, she was pretty hot. I was even hot for her, and I wasn't. I was just a kid,
oh my. Well, that would have been a
Well,
double.
Knowing my mother, I never blamed him.
No, you could. Well, that's it. I mean, when you live with someone, or when like your parents' marriage, when I think if we did break up, what would it be like for me? What would it be like for him? And the thing is, neither of us want to go there. I mean,
You don't want to be unhappy.
no, and not just at our age, but if we broke up and got with somebody else, we have 8 years invested in this. Of between
Well,
living
as
together.
you get older, the chances that you're going to break up are less.
I think so.
And it's just because you tend to tolerate stuff more.
Yeah, because-
you've been down that road before.
Yes.
And I'm 85. I mean, and she's 81.
Mhm.
So where are we going to go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you join one of those widowers groups or things like that, the chances of you meeting someone that you're even half as compatible with as your spouse who you're mad at, they're very slim.
At this age, all I do with her is I keep a mirror by the side of the bed, and in the middle of the night, I put it under her nose to make sure she's still breathing.
That's your arrangement. That keeps you married.
That keeps us married.
I'll hang around if you're dead.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that they
God,
don't find your corpse.
I can't tell you how much fun it is to talk to you.
Oh, been totally the same. That is one of the treasures of my life that we got this friendship going again.
Yeah.
Because it just means worlds to me.
Yeah, it's wonderful and it's fun, and I hope the audience enjoys it as well. I'm sure that a few of them had the opportunity to jerk off as you were talking about your breasts and touching them appropriately.
Yes, we think of ourselves as a full service cast.
That's correct. That's correct. Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Lori Thompson, and me with my red eye. God, is it worse or is it better?
It looks a little improved.
Looks a little improved.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, I'm on the right track. Anyway, we'll see you next week, okay?
Okay, sounds
Ladies
great.
and gentlemen, Lori Thompson, yay!
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody. Okay, here we go. See my eye? It's still... it's terrible. I don't know how long I'm going to get through this hour with the eye this way. It's just been... well, anyway, let me put some cold water on here, and let's see if that helps it a little bit. We need to take some of the... look at that. Look how red it is. God, this is terrible. Well, I guess I'm going to have to see what happens here. Let me bring people in here and see what they want to talk about. I'll let them talk. I don't know if I can talk tonight. Oh boy, yeah. No, this eye has just been giving me a bad time all day.
I didn't miss Lori's titty story, and that's kind of exciting. I did miss why your eye's red.
I don't know why it's red.
Oh, okay. Is it itch? Did somebody poke you in the eye?
It itches a little bit. Does it look terrible? Does it look terrible?
Have that mirror to make sure Marjorie was breathing. She bumped it back and it got you in the eye. I don't know.
Does it look okay? Does it look bad?
Fine.
It doesn't look bad?
No, I can't tell any difference.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to put water. I have a cool compress I put on.
Well, if it's not allergies, which that would affect both eyes,
Yeah.
if somebody didn't injure you or poke you in the eye or something like that,
I don't know.
it could be dry eyes. I know it's watering, but what happens
Well,
is
it's not watering. What you see is some stuff I put on there.
Okay.
It's kind of making it shiny.
You look fine.
Yeah, well, it's just bothering me all day. I'll just have to survive it, okay? If it doesn't get better tomorrow, I won't do a show tomorrow night. So, whatever. How you doing, all of you?
Good. Very good. It's nice and hot. I'm doing fine.
It's going to get cooler tomorrow. Finally.
I have something I bet none of you ever had. I have something that I bet none of you ever had. I have a urinary tract infection.
I've had a urinary tract infection.
Not fun.
No, have you gone to a doctor about it?
Yeah. They did a urinalysis. I'm waiting to hear back and get on an antibiotic.
Yeah.
I had one about 5 years ago.
No, they're pretty well easily taken care of, So
low grade fever, aches and pains, and aches and pains down in the nether region, I guess. So, yep.
But you won't die on that one.
Most women know exactly what I'm talking about because women get urinary tract infections much more often than men.
Is that true, Charlene?
I don't know. I don't even think I've ever had a UTI. I don't know.
Lucky, but you know the term UTI though. But
Yeah, I was saying she knows the term, so obviously
I
she
know
knows.
the term. I've never had one.
No,
Yeah,
well, I'll
see?
send you both a package of UTI.
That's all right. I don't need one, Alan.
You're looking good. You're still on Ozempic and everything, Charlene.
Oh, well, I think I gained like 10 pounds now.
It doesn't show.
Oh, well.
Are you still on the Ozempic, or did you stop the Ozempic?
No, I think like you're supposed to be on it forever, Alex,
Yeah.
or something.
I think that's how they get you on
Yeah.
that deal.
That is how they get you, right? To sell the Ozempic, right?
A captive audience.
Yeah.
Captive
How much did the Ozempic cost you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just lucky I get covered, but
you
it's
get covered.
expensive. When I look at that thing that they send you and how much it is, I'm like, wow. I'm just lucky that, I don't know how that happened.
You
But
know, they could sell it for $1.50, but they don't. You know?
yeah, it's like maybe $1,000 or something. It's
A
crazy.
month.
Oh,
A month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. I can't get it. My doctor will prescribe it, but Medicare won't pay for it, any part of it,
Really?
because I'm not diabetic. Just because I'm
Well,
fat.
then you better get to work.
Yeah, that's what I told the doctor. I said, okay, well, I'm fat and I'm 66. I should be diabetic by now. And he says, I would stay away from Ozempic and stay away from diabetes.
Yeah.
He said, although
And I would
if
also
you get
stay. I would
Ozempic-
also stay away from food.
That's
Oh, no,
right.
no.
True.
I've lived
I
this
could
long.
get
You got to eat.
Well, yeah,
just
but
cut the thing in half. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah, but then I go back 5 minutes later and eat the other half.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather have your problem than my problem, Alan.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, he's got diabetes.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's had some problems with it. So yeah. I don't know. Well, okay. That I don't know. That doesn't really make me feel good. I don't like that you had your problem, but
Did you ever try to take care of your diabetes by not eating certain foods and so on?
yeah, I've cut back.
Not
on
you. I'm
carbs.
talking to
Oh,
Mr. Diabetes here, Charlie
Yeah.
No Toes.
No, I
you
was
know.
just thinking that that's what he should try to do, just naturally try to
Yeah,
cut
sure.
back
Yeah, but
the sugar, right?
But I haven't had time to get an answer here from Charlie. Charlie,
Sure, I tried, but you might as well spit in the wind. I mean, it's
well,
not
all
gonna-
you have to do is low carb, and that's like steaks and cheeses and all that stuff.
Nah, I like Skittles too much.
Oh well, then I can't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
went
you're
on a low-
diabetic, you shouldn't be popping Skittles.
I
Charlie.
went on a low carb diet and I lost 60 pounds.
wow.
I did give up soda. I was drinking 10, 12 cans of Coca-Cola a day, and I gave that up.
Well,
My roommate does that, and he's diabetic.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola Light or whatever they call it,
Zero. I like the
zero.
Yeah, he drinks
Is
full
as
sugar.
good as regular Coke, if not better. I drink regular Coke now, and I don't like it.
My taste buds disagree with you.
Yeah, mine too.
All those diet drinks taste bitter to me. They do not.
Well, your taste buds are your major enemy.
Yep.
I would imagine.
Well, you're also lucky because a lot of the chemicals that they use to make it low calorie is not good for you.
No, you're absolutely wrong. The stuff they use for Coca-Cola, what is it? The light version, Coke Zero, is not any chemical at all. It's
Yeah, remember in the old days they used to have Tab and it had like aspartame or something like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was the one that was bad, I think, but
Yeah,
they've changed it now or something.
No, but now if I look at it, it's I'm trying to remember what it is now.
What
I
it
have-
is
wait,
they
I have a
they
Coke
use
Zero.
something
Let me
called
see if I-
alcohol sugars.
Yeah, go get your Coke Zero. She's going to get her Coke Zero
They
for
have
us.
something called alcohol sugars.
Now
Yeah.
I have bad lighting, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it now. Oh
I
my
don't know,
God.
it's bright where you're at. Well,
Yeah,
No.
I-
Not on the label here. I can't make it out. Sorry.
Hold on a second. I'll look it up here.
Yeah, look it up because now
Hold
I
on.
want to know what it is. Yeah.
Coke Zero. And here's Coke Zero. There we go. Come on. There we go. Now, Coke Zero, all products and ingredients. Coke Zero is Coke Zero actually healthy for you? And it says Coke Zero does not add nutritional value to your diet The long-term effects of drinking diet sodas outweigh any benefits. Oh. If you want to reduce your sugar or regular soda intake, opt for healthier low-sugar drinks like herbal tea, fruit-infused water, that's what I do, and black coffee. I thought zero sugar had, I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's not a terrible thing.
They've got to sweeten it one way. They tried using like some of the fake sugars, the powdered, the yellow packet, the blue packet, and stuff.
Or like Truvia and like Sweet and Low.
But they found that it really doesn't curb your diet, and the chemicals are okay if you use 1 or 2 packs a day in your coffee. But if there's like 22 packs in a can of Coke.
But Truvia isn't a chemical. Truvia isn't a chemical.
Stevia, right?
I'm not talking about Truvia. I don't think they use Truvia.
It's stevia, and it's a, the stevia is what they use in the Coke Zero.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is, Alex? Oh, okay, good. We figured it out. It's healthy.
They'll figure it out that it causes pink eye or something like that.
What is your heavy weight going to cost you?
I knew that was coming.
What is my heavy weight going to cost me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Do you think that what you're eating is healthy for you?
I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I eat 3 days a week. I eat fish, sometimes sushi. I eat chicken, and once a week I can have beef.
You can have beef?
I can have beef. Yeah, I have a dietitian, and I've actually lost a little weight. God knows where, but anyhow.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, just about everybody tells you, if you're trying to lose weight, stay away from the sugar-free diet sodas. They're not.
Really? Well, I have this ice sparkling water. It's zero sugar, and it has 0 carbs.
Okay.
And it is, I think it uses stevia, I would imagine, in it. I have to go look here.
Stevia is a carb. I think stevia is a carb. You can look it up.
Let me see here.
Tell you right there on the label.
What do they put here? Let's see here. Oh, here we go on the side here. Let's see. Carbonated water, concentrate, beta carotene, Indian gooseberry. But it doesn't say anything about what they sweeten it with, But anyway.
Is it sweet?
I don't think they sweeten it with anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe they don't sweeten it with anything.
No, I'm sure they do sweeten it with something. Coconut pineapple flavor, Oh, boy. Oh, hold on a second. Got to do this.
Alex, did you try like warm compress on it?
No, this is a cold compress I put on.
You think that's better?
Oh, yeah. But I do that with it.
That's cute. I'll send you a black patch, so you can wear it like Captain Hook or something.
Yeah, well, I don't understand it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't know where this.
What was the story?
It just started the other day.
Really?
It started about 2 days ago. Yeah.
And you don't know what caused it?
Started to itch a little bit. Yeah.
If you rolled over in bed and your eye opened up, which happens to people, and it stuck to the pillow all night long?
No way that happened. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Had some internet problems today. It kept going down, coming up, going down. Power went out.
Do you have Comcast?
No. Spectrum.
Spectrum, yeah.
Spectrum.
Some guy hit, or a truck running from the quarry out here had his bed up or something and took out the lines and knocked down 3 power poles in the road.
Oh, great. Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific.
It was great the other day. They've been having problems with it ever since. It was Monday.
Well, you seem to be okay,
Yeah, well, I just spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out why I got no sound, why you guys couldn't hear you, and then it was a mess. Gets confused when you don't shut it down the right way.
Well, here you are.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Let me explain my technical problems.
Anyway, so let me see here. What's new? Anything new?
Oh, no.
Since we saw you all last?
Nah.
Wait.
Oh, I think
Fireworks show.
Trump dropped some bombs and they didn't do any good.
Well, we don't know that they didn't do good.
Well, they did, but they didn't, but they did. But they did,
But they didn't.
and they could have, but they maybe.
Trump put out a statement when I was eating sushi last night that I was watching the widescreen, and it said the New York Times and CNN are putting out fake news. Those bombs destroyed
The leaker. It's a
the
leaker from
ability.
CNN, right?
Have you seen the pictures of that place they bombed? It
Yeah.
looks like they only got the surface.
Right.
That's what they're saying.
Do you know
yeah.
how
Yeah,
deep
these are
that
supposed
is
to be
down?
like-
That's in the middle of a mountain, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
They didn't get anything.
No.
That's why he's pissed off because he had a big, beautiful bomb attack.
But
but
here's
it
what
didn't-
here's where he makes his big mistake. He lies.
He opens his mouth.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
opens his
yeah.
mouth and he can't tell the truth.
Yeah.
So to make himself look like a hero, he says, "Oh, we completely devastated them." Well, if he had just said, "We dropped the bombs, let's see how effective they were," everybody would say, "Hey, good, you're a hero. You know, you went ahead and you did the thing you had to do, and let's see if it worked."
Yep.
But when you go out there and say they've been decimated, and everybody's going, "No, they haven't been decimated." I mean, I would love to see the Iranians send some photographs over here of the things still working, you know.
The
Plus,
Defense Intelligence Department hasn't even gotten a report out yet. I don't
they
believe,
showed a
unless they got it
picture.
out
They
today.
showed a picture of that place a few days ago with a bunch of trucks all lined up taking stuff out of there.
Right.
Now
Sounds
they
like
think they
that.
moved all the
Well over 13
because
of
the
them.
leaker told Iran what was going on, and that's what he's mad about.
Do you know who the leaker was?
CNN or something. right?
No, the leaker was Donald Trump and his
Oh,
goddamn
he did it himself?
his
Yeah.
social whatever post.
Yeah, because he tweeted, right.
He was tweeting, "We're going to come get you soon, any day now, you know, a couple
He
of
even
weeks
gave the
maybe.
time or something.
You know, we're going to, so good. Hey, everybody, let's get all the stuff out of there and let them hit an empty building."
So it's his own damn fault.
It is. It is. He
Monday,
said
a
he
bunch
was
of
going to give
people
him
were
2 weeks.
actually-
He never gives anybody 2 weeks.
No.
That should have been Iran's warning. This guy's going to hit you no matter
Well,
what.
no, they knew he was going to hit him because he said so,
Right.
Yep.
There you go.
you know.
Yeah, what a sneak attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
really.
Announce it so that they know it's
what
coming.
he's a moron. He's an
Yep.
absolute
Really
moron.
is.
At least the military used the right aircraft. Something that somebody said 60,000 feet in the air. The B-2, it's a stealth bomber. So
Oh, I'm sure they had the stealth bombers up there. I'm not doubting they went over there, and I'm not doubting they didn't drop something somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But
they
as to
probably
whether
dropped the voting meters that don't work for Donald Trump and left them there.
you know, but the problem is it just nothing happened, and now he's blaming the news people for being fake news. You know, in fact, he had
disparaging our military as well.
he had his Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth give a little speech today, and you know what it seemed like to me? He thought he was on Fox TV again. He was
Exactly
on
what I
Fox
said.
News. Yeah. Yeah. He was just
Exactly what I said.
doing the same kind of
watching it.
routine he would have done on Fox News. So anyway, you know, I mean, it was just pathetic what went on over there. And who knows, you know.
Yeah, what the hell's going to happen next, Alex? God.
Well, I don't think Iran is giving up. Let me put it that way.
I know.
You know, I just think they're acting like they're giving up.
Yep. But
Yeah.
they've played that same act for what 30 years now or something. So
Yeah.
Well, they haven't played the same act. I mean, they have agreed with nuclear people coming around to look at it to stop going after making a bomb. But that was during the first Trump administration when he killed the whole idea. And and plus they say now he wants, in the worst way, he wants a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he ever read about the Nobel Prize, but they usually don't give an award for dropping bombs on people.
Exactly.
It's called a peace prize, isn't it?
What an ass he
Yes.
is.
Well, actually, his is the No Ball Prize.
Yeah, yeah. I wish somebody would call up here that disagrees with me, but I just,
Let's all
the
disagree with
guy's a
Alex.
moron. He's an idiot,
Yeah.
Where is Phil when we need him?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what he's going to say. You want me to be Phil tonight?
Yeah, be Phil, Alex. What would Phil say?
Well, that's just the fake news telling you that they didn't do well over there. Here's the part. Here's the strange one. The Iranians called him to tell him they were going to bomb the American Air Force base in what do you call it? In Qatar.
Cutter
Okay.
at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock, and he wanted to let him know ahead of time, and he said, "Go ahead."
Oh, that's
Wait
smart.
a minute. A president of the United States tells some country when they say they're going to bomb one of your air bases, "Thanks for the heads up, go ahead."
It would have been
Same
good if he
president
had a
was bitching about
camera was
Afghanistan.
standing at ground zero when they dropped the bombs.
What'd you say, Kevin?
I said the same president was bitching about leaving equipment over in Afghanistan.
Yep.
Oh,
Go ahead
really?
and blow up our equipment, no problem.
Yep.
But I mean, the fact that he told them, "Go ahead and do that bombing if you want to." I mean, would you say that if you were president of the United States?
No, that sounds stupid.
You'd say, "No, you better not."
Yeah.
What is this, to get even with the other bombs we dropped? I'm sorry, I'm not going to just let you get away with that. So, I mean, amazing. Just amazing.
Alex, what's with this thing that he was supposed to like run that past Congress and stuff like that?
Well,
like,
you're supposed to let Congress know. You do it quietly. You don't make a big deal out of it, but you do let them know, and you give them heads up as to what you're going to do.
They're probably never going to
yeah.
hold him to that, right? That he, was really supposed to say something, not just do it on his own.
Well,
like
they
that, right?
probably will, but where's it going to get them? He's
Nowhere,
he's
right?
one of these people that I guess goes by the theory. Excuse me, I have to keep putting this on my eye to keep it comfortable. That he just he feels it goes by that theory. It's better to not ask permission and have people yell afterwards.
Right, and see what happens. Yeah.
And see what happens, because you've already done it. What are they going to do? Stop you from doing it?
Right.
Also, they're going to slap your wrist. So what? And by the way, since we got a bunch of Democrats who don't do anything about this crap,
No shit.
he knows he isn't going to have any real price to pay for it, and that the Republicans are going to back him up 100%.
Yep.
Which, by the way, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. The guy in Congress, the head of the
Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, is that it?
He's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. I mean, he just goes and defends him. The guy could commit murder, and he would say, "That's just Trump,"
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't really mean it, But I mean, it has gotten ridiculous. I mean, we don't have a democracy anymore. Forget it. Goodbye democracy. And the only good thing that's happened with the Democrats, I got to say something. I went out, I voted last week, and I voted for Andrew Cuomo. Actually, I probably was wrong in doing that. I probably should have voted for the guy. What's his name?
Yeah, I have a trouble with that too.
Mondami.
Mondami.
Mondami. Yeah.
Momdami.
Mondami. Momdami.
Como
Momdami.
pulled out, didn't he?
Yeah,
He said he's not going to win. What is that called? But he was classy about it.
Conceded.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
conceded
but that
nicely.
doesn't mean he isn't running. He already has a nomination from like the Liberal Party or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. So he could run, but I don't know if he's going to. But this guy Mondami, I'll tell you, why didn't I vote for him? He's a socialist. I love him.
That's what I like. He's a democratic socialist.
Democratic socialist.
I like
or,
that, yeah.
as Trump likes to call him, a communist.
Right.
You
They're going to
wouldn't
start
know
on
the
him
difference
now.
If it was right
Well,
this
no,
way.
a Trump wouldn't know a communist if one came along and bit him in the ass.
Right.
Right.
Oh, then you'd have to get rabies shot for that poor guy.
Yeah. But, you know.
No, this guy is amazing, right?
Well, I think
he's done
I could live with him as the mayor of New York. I really could, and I think that he represents a new, what can I call it? A new attitude in the Democratic Party.
Younger
Right.
progressive
Yes.
attitude.
Huh?
Younger
I agree.
progressive.
Younger progressive.
Right.
He's 33 years old. He's the second youngest. He'd be the second youngest mayor ever in the history of what am I trying to say here? The youngest in the history of mayors in New York City. But you know, I mean, I think he could do a really good job. And even if he does a lousy job, I do feel that the problem I have with Cuomo, and it's the only reason I voted for Cuomo is because Marjorie did, and I didn't want to get into an argument with her. But I didn't like this guy all that much because of some of the ways in which he was doing advertising. I mean, some of the advertising went after Cuomo's supposed problems with women, okay, and he was found not guilty and not guilty of any of that. So it really shouldn't have come out in the advertising, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. But this guy, I can live with him, you know. He makes promises just like they all do. He's going to lower rents, and he's going to start city supermarkets. That's what he said. It's not a bad idea, actually, if you think about it, because you can buy in bulk and sell cheaper, right? And if you're not in for profit, people can get groceries at a decent price.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I
Wow.
go shopping at a city, supermarket. But he has a whole bunch of ideas and a whole bunch of things he's promised, and they all promise the same crap. But maybe, you know, after kissing a few babies, he's decided he'll try and live up to some of them. So, you know.
No, my
Alex?
son voted for him.
What?
My son voted for him.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to win then.
He's won.
Oh, the guy's going to win anyway.
The Democratic thing, yeah.
Well, the Republican nominee for mayor is Curtis Sliwa.
That's what I was going to ask you. You got to be kidding me, Alex. He's going to try it again? God, what if he makes it? Isn't that
You know,
wild?
I wish I could hate Curtis Sliwa. He used
Well,
to
I
be the
don't
head
hate
of the
him, yeah.
the Guardian Angels. He still
Yeah.
wears his little beret. Come on.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, I used to get excited over them when I was
And
young.
I just, you know, and I have every reason to dislike Curtis
Oh,
Sliwa.
Adams. Oh,
You know why I like him?
why?
Because he's a fan of mine.
Oh, is he? Oh, good.
Now, I don't
Yeah.
know what part of me he's a fan of, but all I know is at one point he found out somebody knew me and he had me on his show.
Oh,
And he did
okay.
nothing but say wonderful things about me for an hour.
He was on the radio,
Is
yeah.
that possible?
I'm supposed to.
They could fill up an hour with saying wonderful things about you?
What?
I said, is that possible? somebody could find enough stuff to fill up an hour and say, great things about you.
Some people do love me.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remind them of their past. No, he said he used to listen to me all the time, and he loved the kind of show I had and so on.
You must have influenced him.
And he
yeah.
knew about my current politics, but he didn't care. You know, that wasn't important to him. And that's wonderful, you know. So I can't exactly hate him. I'm not voting for him.
Right.
Yeah, but I can't.
Because he's
hate
a
him.
Republican, right?
Well, you know, there are good Well, maybe there aren't anymore.
I know. I
There
don't
used
think
to
there
be.
are.
There used to be good
Yeah.
Republicans.
Not much anymore, though.
You know, I mean, on a good day, I could have voted for McCain. You know, I think McCain was a pretty honest guy. The only thing that bothered me was when he was running for president, he kind of, you know, gave into a group of people who wanted to have what's her name as his
Palin.
The Alaskan.
Yeah, Palin
Yeah.
as his. Yeah. And he kind of went along with that, and I kind of felt he was. But what I really liked him was the time that some woman, he was doing some town hall, and some woman said, well, I don't like Barack Obama. Boy, I'm bad on names tonight. Barack Obama, because he's a communist or he's whatever. And he looked at her and he went, no, ma'am, he's none of those things. He happens to be a very nice human being, and I respect him greatly. We just happen to disagree on politics. And he didn't let this woman get away with putting him down, and I just thought that was wonderful. You know, how can you not like that? And how can you not admire that? And that's the kind of attitude we should have today, but we don't. You know, I mean, today, if you want to hate a Republican, it's probably good thinking because they all suck these days.
Yep.
You know, and those that don't suck have just kind of given up politics
Exactly.
because they don't want to be part of the party. So anyway, that's, you know,
Yeah, times are really pretty bad.
where my nose is itching, my eye is itching. I'm in great shape. But anyway, so I don't necessarily hate or dislike somebody because of their politics. Some people today, if they're Trumpers, I can dislike them because I can't like stupidity. Okay? And anybody who is a Trump follower is, in my estimation, pretty stupid.
Yep.
You know?
What more does he have to do to prove his stupidity?
Well, I mean, he's done a lot of things that are just wrong.
Yep.
I wish I could say, though, that the stock market has taken a hit, but it's pretty well back up again.
Oh,
It
that's
certainly
good.
is.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it, other than usually the market goes up when a Republican's in office.
Well, I started out with a certain amount of money a year, 2 years ago or something when I first got the money from Shecky, and I put it all in there and everything. And then it went down and it did all kinds of things. I looked at it the other day. It's higher than it was when I first put the money in there 2 years ago.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, my portfolio's gone up $50,000.
What were you saying, Charlie?
The Trump will fix that. He'll have the market down to about 12,000.
Well, you know something.
That's a great Democrat line, but it hasn't happened.
What do you mean it hasn't? Look what happened under Bush. W. Bush.
Well, we're talking about Trump.
Well, here's a good question for you, though. All right, let's look at it.
No new taxes.
Well, no, but I mean, today I looked at it, and or yesterday I looked at it. I figured after doing the bombing of Iran, the stock market would tank. It went up.
Wow.
Now, why is that? Does anybody know why?
I don't know why, Alex.
Because it's not rational.
I don't know why my portfolio's doing so well under Trump. You know, like I just said a minute ago,
Your portfolio might be doing well because the stocks that you're invested in just are doing well, and forget about Trump. Okay.
I'm-
The overall stock market went down. Yours may have gone up because you might be invested in just the right things.
Yeah, that's true. I have all
Good
blue
idea.
chip companies.
I don't think Trump had anything to do. I think he had everything to do with the stock market tanking a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he opens his mouth and the market drops like crazy.
Well, I mean,
Wait till they shut down the Gulf of Hormuz and we can't get any oil. Wait till we see the price of gas then.
that'd be really nice, won't it?
And what about those tariffs? Like, are they supposed to be
I
on
would have
again?
thought
Or?
those would have killed the stock market, but they haven't done that much.
Yeah, but he
Well, no,
keeps
they did it. They
postponing.
did a lot when he first did it. But this, the stock market has gone back up. The stock market always rebounds. I don't think most people outside of Trump are capable of killing it, but he hasn't tried hard enough yet. You know.
It could be price fixing in the stock market. What he opens his mouth, knows the market's going to drop.
Yeah.
All his buddies sit there on the sideline, and then he changes his mind about the tariffs, and everybody knows stocks are going to go up, and all his buddies buy into the stocks before he opens his mouth.
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily the case.
I don't know either, but it could be that he's manipulating the stock.
All I know is he's made a lot of money.
Yeah, and his son
well,
Barron too.
Absolutely.
I think they said Barron made like $400 million or something so far, and Trump
Isn't
has
that
made a
his
bunch of
weekly
money.
allowance?
I don't know. It's probably the Bitcoin or something, right? Or what else is he into?
Yeah, really.
Well, I mean, Trump
Trump
is
did,
like,
anyway.
Trump is selling everything that ain't nailed down.
Exactly.
Plus he's got himself a $400 million plane.
Yep.
Right, that one that he's holding on to.
We forgot about that. Where is
Yeah.
it? Where is it?
Where is it?
I think it's in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. All right,
We
Charlie.
actually allowed him to take that.
I don't know about it.
Wow, he's like hiding it somewhere. Just until after he's president, right? And then he can use it himself or something.
It wasn't a matter of not allowing him to take it. What says he can't take it?
The
Yeah.
Emoluments clause.
Oh,
Emoluments clause?
Yes.
they're going to try to hold him to that?
May
Or?
I ask you what Trump would ask you? What's that?
Oh, right.
That says you cannot take anything of value from a foreign government.
That's right.
And that was a foreign government and $400 million.
You can't take anything of value from a foreign government, but don't ask permission.
Because he'll get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Well, he gets away with it anyway.
Yep.
He gets away
Yep.
with it. He gets away with murder, literally. But anyway, so whatever.
The price of gasoline for me is going up.
Is it going up?
Yeah. Not tremendously, but yeah.
Well, I think part of
Well-
that is, what they do? They worry about it before it's time to worry about it. Because it's all the Gulf of Hormuz and the fact the oil might not come through, and because countries might not be giving us oil, and blah, 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 blah. And they get all worried about that. And all of a sudden, they just raise the price for the sake of raising the price so they can be
Because
ahead.
they can. Yeah.
They can be ahead of the game, How about out in California? How's the gas prices out there?
Expensive.
Sucks.
$5 a gallon.
How about you, Kevin?
I paid $4.25 for regular today.
Oh, really? Wow, where at? I got to go there.
Toro and Holster.
I drive a gas hog.
Jersey's about $3.79 or something, regular,
You see, that's Jersey. Jersey's pretty cheap. California is very expensive on gas.
Yeah.
Always
And on
has
July
been.
1st, we're going up.
Huh? What?
July 1st, they're adding to the tax again.
Are they really?
Yep.
Yes, Charlene.
Well, is there something really nuts going on in California? Because I've been, I mean,
that's
like,
a silly question.
well,
They
the
don't allow
National
blondes.
Guard got sent over there, right? And now there's like a guy with a weed whacker. You know about that story, right? That the ICE guy is claiming that the poor guy that owned the landscaping company attacked the ICE. And then they're like pulling the
Attack
taco
the ice with
stand.
a weed whacker.
Yeah, but that's like all trumped up too. Like Fox News has like phony clips they're using and all that to,
No, they show him
But why?
he's got a weed whacker in his hand, but that's because he was weed whacking
Right,
when they
because
got
that's what
to
he
him.
does. Yeah, but it seems to me like California is really whacked out with that stuff. I mean, like these poor Hispanic people that are like working and the ICE ICE isn't going that crazy in New Jersey, thank God.
This guy, okay, has two sons who are Marines,
Right.
okay, and he's been here forever, and they've just never, I think if they never asked you to go back to where you came from within a certain amount of time,
Don't do it now.
they shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, the statute of limitations or
Yeah,
something.
what were
right?
you gonna? You have your hand up there, Charlie.
Yeah, the Qatari Boeing 747 is now stored at the Palm Beach, Florida International Airport.
How perfect.
Palm Beach,
backyard.
20
Florida
miles from
International
Mar-a-Lago.
Airport. Is that near Mar-a-Lago by any
I
chance?
wouldn't be surprised.
You think?
Yeah. It's probably the airport he uses to go in and out.
And he's not giving that thing up.
Nope.
Never.
And he gets to keep it after he leaves office.
But it's going to be taken care of by his library.
That's what they
Yeah,
say.
right.
Yeah, for a guy who doesn't read, a library is kind of something he doesn't need.
Do we know where the
They
library's
have one
going?
It's all
last
picture
time.
books.
Where's the Trump library supposed to be? Did they say?
Does he
We're
know
liable.
already?
I haven't heard anything about it. Let's see if
In a
In the
magazine.
Bermuda
They don't do that
Triangle.
till afterwards.
And he could put his Nobel Prize there too at the.
Right. All of it in the Bermuda Triangle. Perfect place.
Well, yeah, he's he's going to get.
He's got it all planned out. His whole presidency, right? How it's going to go, what's going to happen.
He doesn't even know that you don't ask for a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to be nominated by somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
But you don't ask for it. I mean, they do give it away to people who don't deserve it sometimes. I don't think that Obama deserved it when he got it. But he got it because he wrote a book about his father. And so he got the Peace Prize. And in those days, it was a good deal for him because it's $1 million.
They give you $1 million.
They give you
too?
$1 million,
Yeah.
and a lot of
Wow.
people usually just give it up and
Charity.
give it to charity and so on. I think Obama. I don't know what he did with his, but in those days he didn't have much money, So a Nobel Peace Prize was a good thing to get, But
Yep. $1 million.
yeah,
$1 million.
has it always been $1 million, or is that?
I'm not sure,
It hasn't always been that, but that's what it is now.
Yeah, and there are other Nobel Prizes. I think for literature.
Yeah.
Physics.
Physics, mathematics,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
a bunch of them, yeah.
yeah. So.
It says that Trump plans to have his presidential library in Florida.
That's what I thought.
Surprise, surprise.
That's probably why the plane's there.
That's his
Oh,
home
yeah,
base
that's
now.
why it's there. Yeah.
Just by the
That's
airport.
it. That plane is a 747, isn't it?
Yep, that's what it says. Yeah.
That thing is expensive to fly.
I thought it was a 787, no?
It says 747 article.
Oh,
I just-
okay. That's why it's old.
Well, no, it's only 4 years old, supposedly.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I
13.
think Boeing stopped building them a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think Boeing should stop building anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure. Jesus.
Hold on a second. I'm getting my eye to feel better. It doesn't look as red right now.
That doesn't
No.
look red at all. on our side.
Well, that's only because you have a black and white monitor there. So.
Absolutely.
Someday.
Or is it one
Someday
of
I'll
those?
get a
Is it
color.
one of those green ones? You remember the green monitors?
Yeah. Phosphorus. Yeah, that was a good comeback.
Yeah.
Black and white monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think it's terrible what we're having to live with right now.
And it's not even half a year.
Well,
It feels like it's been
I
an
thought about
eternity.
it tonight as I was coming on and thinking I would do a whole bit about it, but we really don't have a democracy left. I'm sorry. It's gone. Kiss this democracy goodbye, and don't brag that we are a democracy. I'll please brag about it. I'll let you know when. Okay, but probably not
in our lifetime.
Not in my lifetime, certainly.
Nope.
I mean, I'd like to live at least long enough to see him gone and a Republican not getting reelected.
Yes, I wonder if that's going to happen.
A heart attack does
But
wonders.
I got to tell you, Americans are stupid. I mean, when
Yeah.
he says, "Oh, we obliterated them," I would say, 65% of America believes that.
Yeah.
No, come on.
What do you mean? Come on, Jeff?
I don't know. How stupid can they be?
That's how stupid America has gotten.
Yep.
Hey,
I have a
for
stupid
instance,
friend.
if Phil were here right now, and I asked him about that, about the about him just lying about the bombing and whatever and so on, what would Phil say?
Not much. He's celebrating his 75th birthday.
He is? What, today?
It wasn't 75th. That's like 72nd.
Oh,
I'm
so
75.
So I got it wrong.
You're his friend and you don't know how old he is?
Charlie's correct. He's 72. He just acts older sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie knows, and he's not even his friend.
Lucky for Charlie.
How do you know Charlie?
I have a Facebook friend, and it told me.
Oh, okay.
Is it his birthday today or something? I'm his friend. I didn't.
Yesterday, I think, was the actual.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
He may not be a friend of mine anymore. I don't know because I didn't get any.
Did he
message.
start like blocking people or something? I'll have to check.
No, I don't think he blocked me. He doesn't. Or would he block?
I know one person he blocked.
Who?
Tony.
Tony. Well, everybody blocks Tony for crying.
He has been. I don't know now that he doesn't drink so much coffee, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
I haven't had him blocked on my phone in 6 months, and he just casually once in a while sends me a text. How you doing? This is what's going on, and he's like a normal person all of a sudden.
If it's occasional, if it's occasional, it's okay by me.
Absolutely. He's smart. He understands the stock market.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
You understand football? Yeah. We have that group going on.
Does he still have the girlfriend working?
He has a girlfriend. You mean the blow-up doll?
What do you mean?
No, he's talking about Phil, I think. Yeah,
Phil. Oh, I'm sorry.
Her name's
No,
Deb.
she's. I have not met her, but I've seen pictures, and the answer is yes. She's a beautiful woman.
She is hot.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Here's
They
a
have a
joke
lot
that's
in common.
circulating. Here's a joke that's circulating in Germany, sent back from my mother-in-law the other night. What borders on stupidity?
Canada
What?
and Mexico.
Canada and Mexico. That's going around Germany.
Oh, I see. The U.S.
That's how the
is
world
stupid.
looks at us.
I had to think about that one. The U.S. is stupid.
Trump's made us a laughing stock around the world.
I know. It's pitiful.
She just sent it the other night. Last night, I think it was.
That was cute.
well, it's gonna.
It's
There's a lot
embarrassing.
of truth to it.
Of course, we're the laughing stock of the world.
Yep.
Why shouldn't we be?
Well, the question is, are we personally totally crazy, or are we scared about what's happening?
Well,
Is it going to get worse?
I'm frightened because, I've often argued that America really isn't a democracy. It's a democracy. It's an illusionary democracy. We think we are, but we don't live it. You know, and so I was watching a thing tonight on the Gilded Age that PBS did. And they talked about all the people like the Carnegies and the Vanderbilts and so on, and all the things that went down during that time and the various parties that tried to exist because they felt America wasn't watching out for the average American. It was there for the aggrandizement of these very wealthy people to the degradation of the non-wealthy people. And so various parties started springing up that tried to go and attack this problem, and they were all shut down. Some of the people who led them even got arrested. There was a guy who had a party where they got thousands of people to walk across from Kansas to Washington, D.C. to protest exactly what I was just talking about, and they arrested the leader, and they put him in jail. And that was, what, 100 years ago? 150 years ago? Something like that.
Because this is not an old country, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've never been that great. Slavery, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
In a democracy, you call yourself a democracy from the very beginning, but somehow women and blacks don't have the vote?
Right.
What's
I
that
wonder how
all
many
about?
people know what Juneteenth is about. People were asking me, "What's this new holiday we have?" And I said, "It's how the slaves found out they were free."
Yeah. Well, no, what it was, do you know what Juneteenth was? What was it? Come on.
Go ahead.
No, don't ask me. I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Because you were complaining about people didn't know what Juneteenth was. It was the time that the last, group of people went out to Texas, I believe it was, Galveston, Texas, to tell them that the slaves had been freed. And it was about a couple of years after they had been freed.
2 years after.
2 years afterwards, and that was, they called that Juneteenth. That's to celebrate that. The final realization that people had that they were no longer slaves.
You did.
And isn't that related to like Black Wall Street somehow or something?
No,
Black
that's
Wall?
Oklahoma.
That's something different? Okay.
What was that?
That was 1921.
Yeah, what was that town? They killed everybody in the town and stuff.
To put black-owned businesses out of...
What was it? Tulsa?
Outside Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma had the richest blacks in America. They had their own basic Wall Street. They had their own bankers and everything. And a bunch of whites went in and killed them all, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I get confused.
Welcome to this wonderful, wonderful democracy. Ain't it great? So I mean, come on. What are we gonna say about it? So when you see all this happening now, I'm not surprised. We were always capable of that. We've always engaged in it in one form or another. And you would think by now we had learned our lesson, but we haven't. So whatever.
Oh, that's it? Wow.
Yeah, there's the theme. That's the actual theme. Yeah, that's it. And I made it through the show, and it's looking a little better, I guess.
Feel better.
Huh?
Said feel better.
Yeah, I'm trying to feel better. Well, I'll do a show tomorrow night, but if I'm not going to, I'll put up a thing on Facebook to say I'm not. I can't remember anything anymore. Forget it. Anyway, Jeff, good seeing you again tonight. Always good, and you participated a lot tonight too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you started taking that new medicine or whatever that you're?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it seems to be working a little bit.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Let me know what it is. I may take it. Charlie, good talking to you and seeing you tonight. And it's nice that you have. Is that the new Jurassic World movie?
Yeah, this is the last one, but it starts a week from tonight.
Well,
It looks good. Yeah, I want to see it.
yeah, it's got what's her name in it?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, who's my favorite. My favorite. The only woman I would leave my wife for.
Yeah,
But
right.
she wouldn't want me anyway, so what am I dreaming? Thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate it. Charlene, wonderful having you here. Not always nice to see you. Kevin,
Good to see you.
always a pleasure to see you. And I think all of you should give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. We will be back again tomorrow night. Well, right now, let me just say, stay tuned for Amy Manuel. She's next over most of this same Gabnet. And if you want to call her, you can call her on Zoom by going to gabnet.net and going to the third column down, very bottom of the page. My name is there, her name is there. Click on it, it'll take you right to her, and you can talk to her and be part of her citizen panel. I'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, you know what to do. Tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.